Duality, an instant of opposition or contrast between two concepts or aspects of something, a dualism. Dualism involves the belief in two fundamental, irreducible, and opposing entities. This theory was theorized by the philosopher Plato, who believed in the existence of two worlds, the world of physical objects and the world of abstract ideas. But how does this correlate with fantasy and the parallels between reality? Well, first, let's expound upon the existence of the world of abstract ideas. Abstract in and of itself is existing in thought or as an idea, but not having a physical or concrete existence. Things such as love or beauty that can't really be defined in a concrete way. I feel as though fiction, particularly anime in this instance, truly captures this realm of abstract ideas with the amount of creativity and narrative that anime allows for, not being confined to the rules of our reality. Anime allows for us to see the world in so many different lights and perspectives. Stories that you and I love, where we see these characters be able to express a level of vulnerability that we wish we could, share emotions that are being let out, raw energy transferring into us and out of us throughout the lens of creativity. And there's so much beauty to be had in that. It makes you really question yourself in ways you thought not possible. In my opinion, anime informs reality, or rather, reality informs anime by tackling subjects that we find very difficult to talk about in our world. For example, the notion of who you are to your core being someone you can't change. For example, I like to think of myself as a kind and fostering person, but do I do things to be seen as kind and fostering, or is that truly who I am to my core? These questions don't really have an answer, and nothing in this world really has a concrete answer or definitive. I mean, obviously you have concepts like math and English that truly don't really have a way to be misconstrued, but I think that anime allows for a nuance in reality that a lot of people don't get a chance to appreciate. And honestly, these stories and these characters that we find so relatable, and these expressions that we just don't get to truly appreciate, it gives us moments to reflect on who we are. And I just think that there's so much to appreciate about that. And it truly does tackle dualism and relatability in a unique and amazing way. But aside from relatability, I really want to look forward to the contrast that anime has. Dichotomy. A division or contrast between two things that are or are represented as being opposed or entirely different. Or you could say, a dichotomy is a partition of a whole into two parts. In other words, this couple of parts must be jointly exhausted. Everything must belong to one part or the other, and mutually exclusive. Nothing can belong simultaneously to both parts. And aside from pointing out these differences between fiction and reality, instead let's focus on how these differences grant even further unity between the two. An individual has not started living until he can rise above the narrow confines of his individualistic concerns to the broader concerns of all humanity. These were the words spoken by Martin Luther King, which really tackles the callousness of this world, and how exactly anime goes about tackling this subject is truly remarkable, as it gives us different scenarios to really latch onto and get a better understanding of concepts like purpose. Purpose. The reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists. Purpose can be a motivating factor in a lot of our lives, which drives us to do better once we know what that is, but the notion that everyone's purpose is different can pretty much drive someone insane. I mean, just think about it. What would you do if you didn't know what you were here to do? If you didn't know what your purpose was in this life? Could you truly die satisfied? The fact of the matter is, there's no concrete answer for what anyone's purpose is in this world. And I feel like anime tackles that in such a beautiful way when we meet these characters who have these ideals that clash with one another. I feel as though anime typically tackles these clashing of ideals by separating them into two different archetypes. The first being that of similar ideals, and then the latter would be that of opposing ideals. Now, I won't go too far into detail as I feel as though that's best suited for another video, but I'll give a brief synopsis. Now, the archetype of similar ideals is best used to mirror the protagonist and antagonist to show that these two characters came to the same conclusion, albeit they chose different routes to get to a different outcome. This is predominantly used in stories where they really want to make you question your morality and who exactly is in the right, the villain or the hero. This perfectly coincides with purpose, giving us an idea of how even if you had a chance to do it differently, it might not necessarily be the best thing for you, as shown by the protagonist and antagonist having similar ideals but going in opposite directions. Next would be the opposing ideals. I feel as though opposing ideals tackles the relationship between protagonist and antagonist much more beautifully than similar ideals, because it gives us a lens of what will happen when these two purposes, these two goals, these two ambitions collide. What would be the outcome? And once again, I would love to go more in depth on that in a separate video because I don't want to stray too far off topic. So, whilst the world of similar ideas, or this archetype of similar ideas, best encapsulates duality, I think that this idea of opposing ideals truly encapsulates dichotomy, and fiction and media in general brings these two together in such an amazing, unique way that I just can't help but just appreciate the art form of creativity. As I stated earlier, this world of abstract ideas that we pull from, just beautifully done in such a creative way. I can't help but appreciate it, and I really hope you guys do too. Thank you guys so much for watching. I would really love to make more videos like this, and if this video does well, you can expect to see more content like this in the future. Really let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this. I've done content like this before in the past, but I just don't know how it's gonna do as far as algorithm and likes and comments go, because that stuff really does go a long way, guys. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I would really love to do more videos about this. I would think about starting a Patreon. If you guys would be interested, let me know. But without further ado, just thank you for watching.